H.J. Heinz was one of the most important figures in Pittsburgh labor history. Born in 1844 to German Lutheran immigrants, Heinz and his family grew up in the neighborhood of Sharpsburg, near Pittsburgh. As a child, he showed his entrepreneurial spirit by selling his family's excess produce in town. He began Heinz Noble and Company in 1869 and sold horseradish, fruit preserves, pickles, catsup, and other produce. This venture was successful until 1875, when the full effects of the Depression of 1873 bankrupted the company. However, Heinz rebuilt on his own, and with the help of his family, and the Heinz Company was created. One thing that helped his company grow so fast and so far was his clever marketing plan. At the time, the food industry was unregulated, and items such as horseradish were often of poor quality and were sold in solid bottles. To show his customers that the food was better, with him, he sold it all in clear glass bottles. This technique worked incredibly well, and Heinz was seen as a brand of pure foods. His technique is still used by Heinz today, as seen in these 3 items I bought at a grocery store. Notice their clear casings that show the actual food inside and show the customer what they want. Heinz also had a soiled-to-consumer mindset, in which every step of the process of food making was overseen and controlled. This is all good for marketing, but his real importance to labor lies in how he ran his factories. Heinz was one of the only employers at the time to seem to care about his employees. He treated them well and gave them many benefits, such as free dental and health care, clean uniforms, washing facilities, and even a first aid station. This is often called welfare capitalism, and Heinz was one of the first American employers to do it. Heinz also employed many women at a time when women could not find decent employment in most other factories. He had a moral emphasis on what he called right living, and he always promoted his religious ideals to all. Another thing that was unheard of before he did it was factory tours. Heinz wanted to show the public how his facilities were always clean and pristine, with workers in safe positions doing good work. To prove this, he invited the public in to see, and the public loved it. No Heinz employee striked or joined a union until 1937. Another incredibly important contribution to labor history was his crusade to pass the Pure Food and Drug Act. Whether he was acting out of moral righteousness or for clever marketing is up for debate, but his support of the act led to it being passed and enforced in 1906. While in the early days of the company, his ketchup did contain some harmful preservatives, they were all eliminated once Heinz found out that they were unsafe for the public. From then on, he campaigned righteously against preservatives and the often horrible conditions of food in industries such as meatpacking. With help from Harvey Wiley of the Federal Bureau of Chemistry, Heinz and his family convinced President Theodore Roosevelt to pass and enforce the act. The Pure Food and Drug Act was momentous for both the worker and the consumer. The workers could work in safer and better environments where they weren't often injured or killed, and the consumers did not have rats in their meat. Heinz was truly ahead of his time in his ideals, and he was rewarded greatly for it. His company is still alive and well today, and just recently merged with Kraft to form Kraft-Heinz. You can find Heinz's influence in much of Pittsburgh. Heinz Field, where the Steelers play, the Heinz History Center, and Heinz Hall are all dedicated to him. His food is also now sold all over the world, and is a favorite of many.